will be making a statement soon once he finds out more about the situation, because it's still active, and he's getting information as we are giving information right now. So it might be a little time before he steps to the mic, if at all. But we are definitely keeping an eye on that situation.
Yeah, so right now, obviously, we're concerned about the police officers who were shot and injured at this point. We're concerned about this neighborhood and the folks that are in that neighborhood who are still, again, being holed up at this point while police try to de-escalate the situation, while they try to get this suspect or suspects in custody at this point. One person's already been taken into custody. Obviously, they are still engaging another person or other people at this point, holed up on Erie Avenue. That is why you still see such an incredible police presence at this point in that area.
And looking at that picture, it may seem possibly maybe a little cloudy or something to you, but I understand that we may be using a very long lens, because I understand our chopper 3, has been told to back up. All the helicopters in the air back up just a little bit, as to not to compromise the situation. So that's the situation there. That's why you're looking at this picture. It might seem a little, as we call it in the business, soft or cloudy. It's not as sharp, but we are over top of the situation. You can see the lights, the sirens. You can see that right in front, and no one is moving, because this is an ongoing situation.
Yeah, again, Greg Argos and our cameraman out there, a couple of camera guys, Ankit Patel, Matt Mariano, trying to stay safe as well. We want everybody in this situation. Haven't seen something like this in a really long time, where we're seeing this kind of violence play out, in a city neighborhood where we're actually seeing it. After police officers have been shot, the situation is still certainly not under control at this point until they get a suspect or suspects into custody. So that is why this is still a very dangerous situation an hour and a half after the initial call.
Hey, what's up? This is crazy. They doing GTA, they role playing in real life, man.
Watching the result of it right now. It happened
RP, IRL.
Getting all 4 people moving around in the Temple area, maybe from school, and a very active time of the evening. And
this is insane. Started this afternoon. I've been listening to it. This is crazy.
It's around 4:30. Speaking of Greg, let's check in with him right now near the scene. Greg?
And Yuki, like you mentioned, we are very close to the scene, a very active scene happening right now. In fact, this is where the police have gathered here near this corner, and about down a block from where I'm standing there is the Philadelphia SWAT team. They have gathered, and we have heard active gunfire within the past 20 minutes happening here near this scene. And actually right now, 2 shots were just fired. You can hear possibly some of the folks, the members of this community, the neighborhood reacting as well. There is active gunfire happening right now. We're going to just keep with the live picture. That you're looking at the SWAT team. We're not going to give our location here, but we are, as you can tell, very close to the scene. Philadelphia SWAT and large clothed police presence here, apparently engaging the suspect. As we speak, it appears that they are in front of a home here in the Tioga section of Philadelphia. This all unfolding at 4:35 this afternoon or thereabout. And since I've been live a few times this afternoon, we've heard now this is the 4th back and forth, the 4th volley of gunfire between Philadelphia police and at least 1 suspect. We have confirmed 6 Philadelphia police officers have been shot. Still an active situation. We don't know if there are any more injuries, but with active gunfire, of course, there could be. Joe Holden and the Fraternal Order of Police telling us, fortunately, that none of these injuries are life-threatening. That could change, of course, as active gunfire is taking place right now here in the Tioga section, North Philadelphia section of Philadelphia. We're staying back. There are officers in defensive positions. I believe you're looking at the SWAT vehicle right now, correct, Matt? and we're just showing the scene as it's unfolding. Hectic. I don't know how else to describe it. A scary situation, a hectic one, one where multiple officers, of course, are thinking about their brothers and possibly their sisters who have been injured today, but they're also trying to neutralize and arrest the suspect, which is basically this person or people wreaking havoc on the city of Philadelphia, specifically North Philadelphia right now. I am in a community of at least 2 or 3 dozen people who have gathered with their cell phones showing what's going on. People are staying back, of course, but we are going to widen out the shot right now, just giving you the situation as it's unfolding. We don't know, to be frank with you, if anyone who's committing these crimes is watching our broadcast, and so we're not going to be showing specific locations or talking about them, but we are in the Tioga section of Philadelphia. This is where those emergency calls began broadcasting over police radio at 4:35. Philadelphia SWAT in full gear with their tactical equipment, engaging the suspect over the past hour. A very tense situation, quite frankly, one that I've never been in this light. I've been, unfortunately, plenty of shootings, but nothing this serious where there's active gunfire, and I can tell you the priority is keeping the officers who are on scene safe, the folks who have gathered to watch this, those in the community living on this block. Imagine this being your block here, guys, in the Tioga section of Philadelphia, when there is such a there's a gun battle essentially in North Philadelphia as we're speaking. I can tell you that. I've heard it, and it's ongoing right now between. Go ahead.
It's ongoing. It's active gunfire. You were talking about keeping people safe. I want to reiterate to you, they have protective gear on. The police department, the SWAT team, we've seen the helmets on the tight shot. They have protective gear on. Stray bullets can fly. So please, you and the community, keep yourself in a defensive position and stay safe. We are looking, before I get back to you, Greg, I understand I'm being told that the video that people at home are seeing on the right, family members are starting, you're looking at a live picture, family members are starting to come to the hospital now, but once again, at Temple University Hospital, where our Kimberly Davis is, and so we're going to stay on top of that as well, but once again, the injuries that we have heard about, there's officers being shot, and the one injured, they are not life-threatening at the moment, and we're getting 6 officers, according to FOP President John McNesby.
6 officers shot, according to FOP President John McNesby. Non-life-threatening injuries for all of them, which is the good news there. And we were just seeing that shot from Temple University. Some family members were getting into the hospital at this point to check on at least 3 of the officers that we understand that were taken to Temple University Hospital. One was taken to Einstein Hospital. We see Greg Argos there, who's at the scene, that's still playing out a very fluid and dangerous situation, a gun battle in North Philadelphia that's playing out there. SWAT team members that had their guns trained on what appeared to be a row house there near that Erie Avenue area, near where this all initially unfolded, the 3700 block of North 15th Street at about 4:30 this afternoon. So there is still very much activity there in the neighborhood where this all happened. This is the activity we're seeing there off to the right of our screen here at Temple University Hospital.
And the gentleman with the phone to his ear, that appears to be, that's John McNesby of the FOP. He continues to get information that he is putting out on Twitter, that he's talking to his co-workers, and he's giving us the information. He's the one that told us there are 6 officers now, so he's on top of the situation as well, taking care of his and looking after the men and women of the police department.
Yeah, and we're just hearing, too, that we were just seeing, just a shot a short time ago, saw what looked to be several family members running into the hospital. Now, we're, of course, hearing that these are non-life-threatening injuries, but we
they may not have heard it. Yeah, they may not have heard that.
We still don't know the gravity of where they were injured, what type of injuries they have sustained at this point, and no matter what, family members are going to rush to the hospital and try to check on their loved ones.
Right, exactly. Took the words right out of my mouth. They are concerned about their loved ones, as are we. As are we in this day and age. This is something to see. You are looking live. If you just joined us, it is 6:10. We have been covering this shootout in North Philadelphia that all started with a narcotics call around 4:30 this afternoon in the North Philadelphia area in Tioga. Gunshots ensued. A massive police presence also ensued. It was described as a boilover, sheer chaos in North Philadelphia. And now you're looking at the end result of it. It's not the end. You're looking at the result of it now that, about an hour and a half ago. And these officers are just waiting as a SWAT team in about the middle of the block, just in front of them, is trying to wait this situation out.
Yeah, and again, exchanges of gunfire being heard there with our Greg Argos hearing it for himself. Of course, he is trying to stay as far back as possible, and police are keeping everyone at bay at this point, and they're trying to protect themselves as well and other community members. The SWAT team, you can't see from this this shot here, but if you looked a little past that row house there to the left, you can see SWAT team members that pretty much have their military type gear in a sense right there in the middle of the street, guns trained on what appears to be a row house there in that area, just a block away from where all of this activity transpired at about 4:30 or so this afternoon.